If you believe cancer only shows up in people who smoke, eat garbage, or have bad genes, you need to hear this. Your doctor probably never mentioned it, but right now, inside every single person watching this, yes, including you, tiny tumors are trying to grow. Your repair cells are shutting down, and deadly fat is quietly choking your organs from the inside. The only difference between people who get sick and people who don't is whether their body has enough of one specific nutrient or not. Because right now, sitting in studies from the top cancer and metabolism research centers in the world, there is jaw-dropping proof that one dirt-cheap forgotten fish, one you've probably ignored your entire life, can make cancer cells eat themselves alive, wake up your dying stem cells, and burn off the hidden belly fat no diet seems to touch. And the whole thing can start working in just 5 days. Most people believe that the key to fighting cancer is expensive treatments, cutting-edge drugs, or at the very least, complicated supplementation protocols. That's also a half-truth. But after nearly 30 years in emergency medicine and cancer prevention research, something has been discovered that changes everything. The single most powerful weapon against abnormal cell growth, chronic inflammation, and hidden visceral fat may already be sitting on your grocery store shelf in a small, inexpensive tin. As an emergency medicine physician and cancer researcher, after decades of treating patients in critical condition, a different question started being asked. Not how do we treat disease after it strikes, but how do we create a body that resists disease in the first place? And what was found in the research about one specific food absolutely shifted the understanding of what's possible through nutrition. We've been told to eat more fish, but what is new is the science showing exactly what happens at the cellular level when you consume sardines consistently for just 5 days. The effects on cancer cells, on your stem cell reserves, and on the most dangerous fat inside your body are nothing short of remarkable. In this video, we are going to walk through exactly what happens inside your body during a 5-day sardine protocol. Specifically, how the omega-3 fatty acids in sardines trigger a process called selective cytotoxicity, where cancer cells are targeted for destruction while your healthy cells remain completely unharmed. Why sardines contain a rare combination of nutrients that activate dormant stem cells, the repair crews your body uses to regenerate tissue, heal organs, and reverse aging at the cellular level. The shocking connection between sardines and visceral fat, the invisible killer fat wrapped around your organs, and why research shows omega-3s can reduce it even without changing anything else about your diet. The exact amount of sardines you need per day, the best type to buy, and the precise way to prepare them for maximum potency. And a step-by-step 5-day protocol you can start tomorrow morning. Before we go further, one small thing. Every week, we hear from someone who says they've been watching this content for months and only just noticed they weren't actually subscribed. It takes literally 2 seconds. Just glance down and check. If you're already subscribed, thank you. If not, it costs nothing, and it's the single biggest thing you can do to help this kind of evidence-based health content reach the people who are still searching for it. Now, here's the thing most people don't understand about sardines. They think of sardines as some outdated, unappetizing health food their grandparents ate. Something you'd only choose if you had no other options. That perception is completely wrong. Sardines are, gram for gram, one of the most nutrient-dense foods that exist on this planet. And here's what separates them from virtually every other fish. They sit at the very bottom of the marine food chain. They eat only plankton and tiny algae. That means they accumulate almost zero mercury, almost zero heavy metals, almost zero microplastics, compared to larger fish like tuna or swordfish. Think of it this way. Imagine you're filling a glass of water from a mountain spring versus filling it from a river that's already passed through 3 cities. The sardine is the mountain spring. It's the cleanest, most concentrated source of marine nutrition you can find. And what's packed into that tiny fish is extraordinary. A single 3.75 oz tin of sardines delivers approximately 1,400 milliliters of omega-3 fatty acids. That's EPA and DHA combined. It provides roughly 25 grams of high-quality, complete protein. It contains nearly 75% of your daily selenium requirement. It delivers vitamin D, a nutrient that over 1 billion people worldwide are deficient in. It contains significant amounts of B12, phosphorus, calcium from the edible bones, and an amino acid called taurine that has profound effects on your nervous system. No other single food delivers this combination in this concentration at this price point. Nothing. But here's what makes the next 5 days so powerful. When you consume 3 tins of sardines per day for 5 consecutive days, you're flooding your body with roughly 4,200 milliliters of omega-3 fatty acids daily. That's a therapeutic dose. That's the dose where the clinical literature starts showing dramatic, measurable biological changes. And those changes happen in 3 critical systems simultaneously. Mechanism 1 is the selective destruction of cancer cells. Here's something that is shocking when first encountered in the research. Omega-3 fatty acids, specifically the EPA and DHA found abundantly in sardines, have the ability to kill cancer cells while leaving your healthy cells completely intact. In pharmacology, this is called selective cytotoxicity. It's the holy grail of cancer therapy. It's what every drug company on Earth is trying to achieve. Destroy the diseased cells, spare the healthy ones, and sardines do it naturally. Here's how it works. When your body digests the omega-3s from sardines, those fatty acids get incorporated directly into the membranes of your cells. In a healthy cell, this strengthens the membrane, makes it more fluid, more resilient. But in a cancer cell, something completely different happens. Cancer cells have unstable membranes. They're structurally weak because of their rapid, uncontrolled division. When omega-3 fatty acids integrate into a cancer cell membrane, they increase the production of reactive oxygen species, essentially creating an oxidative storm inside the cancer cell. The cancer cell can't handle it. Its mitochondria become overwhelmed, and it triggers a process called apoptosis, programmed cell death. The cancer cell destroys itself. Your healthy cells? They have robust antioxidant defense systems. They handle the omega-3 integration beautifully. They actually become healthier. Think of it like this. Imagine you pour water on 2 structures. One is a solid brick house. The other is a house of cards. The water strengthens the mortar in the brick house, but collapses the house of cards. That's what omega-3s from sardines do to cancer cells versus healthy cells. But that's only part of the picture. There's a second anti-cancer mechanism that's equally powerful. Your body converts EPA and DHA into specialized molecules called resolvins, protectins, and mycins. These are part of your body's inflammation resolution system. When your immune system detects a cancer cell, it launches an inflammatory attack. Good. That's what you want. But if the inflammation doesn't resolve, if it just keeps burning, it actually creates an environment where cancer thrives. Chronic unresolved inflammation is one of the primary drivers of tumor growth. The resolvins produced from sardine omega-3s act like a fire department that arrives after the firefight is over. They clean up the damage, resolve the inflammation, and restore order. Without enough omega-3 in your system, your body struggles to produce these resolving molecules. The inflammation rages, and cancer cells exploit the chaos. Additionally, here's a fact that appears repeatedly in the oncology literature. A tumor cannot grow beyond approximately 2 mm, roughly the size of a ballpoint pen tip, without recruiting its own blood supply. This process is called angiogenesis. Research has demonstrated that DHA from marine sources like sardines inhibits the signaling molecules that tumors use to build new blood vessels. You're essentially cutting off the supply lines before the tumor can establish itself. Mechanism 2 is stem cell activation and tissue regeneration. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Your body contains millions of stem cells, undifferentiated repair cells that sit dormant throughout your tissues, waiting to be activated. Think of them as emergency construction crews stationed throughout your body. They're parked in their trucks, engines off, waiting for the alarm bell. What rings that alarm bell? Specific nutrients, specific biological signals, and sardines deliver several of the most potent stem cell activators known to science, all in a single food. First, the omega-3 fatty acids. Research has established that DPA and DHA support cellular membrane integrity in stem cells, protect them from oxidative damage, and reduce the chronic inflammation that suppresses stem cell activity. When inflammation is high, your stem cells stay dormant. They can't do their repair work when the body is in a constant state of emergency. The omega-3 flood from the sardine protocol essentially signals to your stem cells, the emergency is over. Time to rebuild. Second is vitamin D. Sardines are one of the richest natural food sources of vitamin D, providing approximately 270 IU per tin. Vitamin D is not just a bone vitamin, it plays a direct regulatory role in stem cell differentiation, the process by which a stem cell decides what type of cell to become. Without adequate vitamin D, your stem cells can't properly transform into the muscle cells, bone cells, nerve cells, or immune cells your body needs. Third is selenium. This mineral acts as a cofactor for your body's most powerful internal antioxidant systems. Selenium protects your stem cells from the oxidative damage that accumulates with age. It's like putting armor on your repair crews before sending them into a reconstruction zone. And fourth is taurine. This amino acid, found naturally in sardines, has been shown to support stem cell survival and proliferation. Taurine also crosses the blood-brain barrier and supports the production of GABA, a calming neurotransmitter. This means your sardine protocol doesn't just regenerate tissue. It can actually calm your nervous system while doing so. Mechanism 3 is visceral fat destruction. This is the mechanism that may surprise you the most. Visceral fat is the most dangerous type of fat in your body. It's not the fat you can see or pinch. It's the fat packed deep inside your abdominal cavity, wrapped around your liver, your pancreas, your intestines. You cannot see it from the outside. A person can look lean and still be loaded with visceral fat on the inside. Imagine your torso as a shipping container. The container might look normal from the outside, but inside, it's packed floor to ceiling with toxic material pressing against every organ. That's what visceral fat does. It doesn't just sit there, it actively secretes inflammatory molecules, cytokines like TNF-alpha and interleukin-6, that poison your metabolic system. Visceral fat is linked to 14 different types of cancer, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and dementia. Now, here's the research that changed the perspective. A study published in Biochemistry and Cell Biology demonstrated that omega-3 fatty acid supplementation reduced visceral fat mass in subjects even without changing their overall diet. The subjects continued eating the same foods. The only addition was omega-3s, and the visceral fat decreased. The mechanism involves multiple pathways. Omega-3s activate genes involved in fat oxidation, essentially flipping on your body's fat-burning machinery. They reduce the inflammatory signals that visceral fat uses to protect itself and expand. And they support the activation of brown adipose tissue, your body's built-in space heater. Brown fat doesn't store energy. It burns energy. It generates heat by consuming white fat and visceral fat as fuel. And omega-3 fatty acids are one of the compounds shown to support brown fat activation. A separate clinical trial found that participants who supplemented with approximately 1,000 milliliters of combined EPA and DHA per day showed significantly greater reductions in abdominal fat compared to the control group. With 3 tins of sardines per day, you're getting over 4 times that amount. Let's walk through some of the specific research that supports this protocol. Study 1. Researchers at Fox Chase Cancer Center, in collaboration with Pennsylvania State University, tested the effects of omega-3 fatty acids on multiple breast cancer cell lines. They found that omega-3s reduced proliferation across all cancer cell types, but the effect was dramatically more powerful against the most aggressive form, triple-negative breast cancer. Cell proliferation was reduced by up to 90%. Furthermore, the ability of those cancer cells to migrate and spread was reduced by 20 to 60%. This was measured directly using laboratory cell culture assays. Study 2. A landmark European clinical trial called the DEW Health Study followed over 2,100 adults aged 70 and older across 5 countries for 3 years. The participants who combined omega-3 supplementation with vitamin D and simple exercise reduced their overall cancer risk by 61%. Not a modest reduction, 61%. This was a randomized controlled trial, the gold standard of clinical research. Study 3. Researchers at Vanderbilt University Medical Center tracked over 5,300 participants in the Tennessee colorectal polyp study. Women who consumed omega-3 fatty acids regularly showed a 33% reduced risk of developing colorectal adenomas, the precancerous polyps that can progress to colon cancer. The mechanism was traced to a reduction in prostaglandin E2, a pro-inflammatory metabolite directly linked to tumor progression. Study 4. A 2021 clinical trial published in Lipids in Health and Disease studied adults with prediabetes who consumed sardines twice per week for 6 months. The sardine group demonstrated improved insulin sensitivity and lower HbA1c levels compared to the control group, showing that sardines don't just fight cancer and fat. They fundamentally improve your metabolic machinery. Study 5. A study published in Biochemistry and Cell Biology specifically measuring visceral fat found that omega-3 supplementation reduced visceral adipose tissue in diet-induced obesity models, and critically, this reduction occurred even while the high-fat diet was maintained. The omega-3s overrode the fat-accumulating signals of the diet itself. This isn't speculation. This isn't theoretical. These are measurable, quantifiable biological changes, documented under rigorous experimental conditions. Here's the exact protocol. This is what is recommended based on the research. What you'll need: 1. Sardines, 3 tins per day, approximately 3.75 Oz each. Choose sardines packed in extra virgin olive oil. Make sure the label says with skin and bones. The skin contains concentrated omega-3s. The bones are soft and fully edible. They provide roughly 35% of your daily calcium per tin. Avoid sardines in soybean oil or cottonseed oil. Those oils are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which counteract everything you're trying to achieve. 2. Electrolytes. During a focused sardine protocol, especially if you're reducing carbohydrates simultaneously, your body will flush water and minerals. You need potassium. Aim for 4,000 to 4,700 milliliters daily from food and supplementation. Magnesium, 400 milliliters daily. And sodium. Don't be afraid to add quality sea salt to your sardines. 3. A quality B-complex vitamin. Sardines already provide excellent B12, but a full B-complex supports the methylation cycles that drive cellular repair and detoxification. 4. Lemon wedges and extra virgin olive oil. Squeeze fresh lemon over your sardines. The vitamin C from lemon increases the bioavailability of the minerals in the fish, particularly the selenium and calcium. Drizzle additional olive oil for enhanced fat-soluble nutrient absorption. Morning, 700 to 800 a.m. First tin of sardines with a squeeze of lemon, a pinch of sea salt, and a side of sliced cucumber or celery for hydration and potassium. Take your B-complex and electrolytes. Midday, 1200 to 1 p.m., second tin of sardines. You can mash them onto seed crackers, mix them into a simple salad with olive oil and lemon, or eat them straight from the tin. Add a handful of walnuts for additional omega-3s and polyphenols. Evening, 500 to 6:20 p.m. Third tin of sardines. Pair with steamed broccoli or a small serving of sauerkraut. The broccoli provides sulforaphane, which has its own anti-cancer properties. The sauerkraut provides probiotics that support gut bacteria diversity, including Akkermansia muciniphila, a bacterial strain shown in research from the Gustave Roussy Cancer Center to be essential for effective immune response against cancer. What to expect each day. Day 1. If you've been consuming a carbohydrate-heavy diet, your glycogen stores will start depleting. You may feel mild hunger in the afternoon. This is normal. The high protein content of the sardines, approximately 75 grams total across 3 tins, will help stabilize your appetite by evening. Day 2. Ketone production begins to increase. Your body is transitioning from sugar burning to fat burning. The omega-3s are already being incorporated into your cell membranes. Many people notice reduced bloating and less water retention. Day 3. This is typically when the cognitive shift happens. Ketones are a premium fuel source for the brain. DHA from the sardines is the primary structural fat in brain cell membranes. Many people report noticeably sharper focus, clearer thinking, and more stable energy throughout the day. The taurine in the sardines also promotes GABA production, which may create a sense of calm alertness, focused, but not jittery. Day 4. Anti-inflammatory effects become noticeable. The resolvins your body has been producing from the omega-3s are now actively quieting chronic inflammation. Some people report reduced joint stiffness, particularly in the mornings. Skin may appear clearer as inflammatory mediators decrease. Day 5. Your stem cell environment has been optimized. Inflammation is suppressed. Oxidative stress is reduced. Vitamin D and selenium levels are elevated. Your body's repair systems are operating in an environment designed for regeneration. This is the day you consolidate the gains, complete the protocol, and then transition to a maintenance plan of sardines 3 to 4 times per week going forward. Based on years of clinical practice, here are the key tips. Tip 1 is the olive oil matters. Not all sardine tins are equal. Sardines in extra virgin olive oil give you a double anti-inflammatory benefit. The omega-3s from the fish and the oleocanthal from the olive oil. Oleocanthal works through a similar anti-inflammatory pathway as ibuprofen. Sardines packed in water lose much of their fat-soluble vitamins when you drain the liquid. Sardines in soybean oil introduce excessive omega-6 that directly competes with the omega-3s for incorporation into your cell membranes. Always choose olive oil. Second tip is eat the bones. I know this sounds unusual, but the bones in canned sardines are fully softened by the canning process. They crumble between your teeth, and they deliver a highly bioavailable form of calcium that your body absorbs efficiently, far better than most calcium supplements. One tin with bones provides roughly 35% of your daily calcium requirement. Third tip is timing amplifies results. If you combine this sardine protocol with a 14 to 16-hour overnight fast, eating your first sardine tin at noon instead of 8:20 a.m., and your last by 6:00 p.m., you amplify the stem cell activation effect. Research has shown that fasting for 12 to 24 hours stimulates the production of new stem cells and triggers a cellular cleanup process called autophagy. The sardine protocol provides the raw materials. The fasting window tells your body to use them. Fourth tip is track your waist, not your weight. During this protocol, you may not see dramatic changes on the scale. That's because you're potentially gaining lean tissue while losing visceral fat. Visceral fat loss is invisible on a bathroom scale, but measurable with a tape measure. Measure your waist at the navel line before you start, and again on day 6. A reduction of even half an inch indicates meaningful visceral fat loss. Let's address the mistakes seen most frequently. Mistake 1. Choosing the wrong sardines. This is the most common error. People grab whatever tin is cheapest and don't check the oil. Sardines in soybean oil, sunflower oil, or cottonseed oil contain omega-6 fatty acids that directly sabotage the omega-3 benefits. It's like filling your gas tank with premium fuel and then pouring sugar water in afterward. Always check the label. Extra virgin olive oil or water are your only 2 acceptable options. Olive oil is preferred. Mistake 2. Expecting overnight transformation. Cellular biology doesn't work on a social media timeline. The 5-day protocol initiates critical changes: membrane remodeling, inflammatory resolution, metabolic switching, but the full benefits compound over weeks and months. People who quit after 5 days because they don't look visibly different are abandoning the process right when the deep cellular repair is accelerating. Use the 5 days as a launch pad, then maintain sardines 3 to 4 times per week indefinitely. Mistake 3. Substituting fish oil supplements for actual sardines. This is crucial. A fish oil capsule gives you omega-3s. That's it. A tin of sardines gives you omega-3s plus complete protein, plus vitamin D, plus selenium, plus taurine, plus calcium, plus B12, plus phosphorus, all working synergistically. The whole food matrix matters enormously. Nutrients in combination amplify each other in ways that isolated supplements cannot replicate. Supplements are a backup plan. Whole sardines are the primary weapon. Mistake 4. Not supplementing electrolytes. When you shift to a high-protein, low-carbohydrate protocol, your kidneys excrete more sodium, which pulls potassium and magnesium with it. If you don't replace these minerals, you'll feel sluggish, get headaches, and may experience muscle cramps. These symptoms are not from the sardines. They're from electrolyte depletion. Salt your food generously. Drink mineral-rich water. Consider a quality electrolyte supplement. Here's what you need to understand. Cancer is not purely a matter of fate. Visceral fat is not a permanent sentence. And stem cell decline is not inevitable. The patients who truly transform their health aren't genetically gifted. They're not wealthy. They're not lucky. They consistently provide their bodies with the raw materials needed to fight disease, repair tissue, and burn dangerous fat. Every tin of sardines you consume floods your cells with omega-3 fatty acids that target cancer cells for destruction. Every serving activates stem cell pathways that regenerate worn tissues. Every dose of these specific nutrients chews through the visceral fat that's silently damaging your organs. These defense systems exist in you right now. They're built into your biology. They're waiting for the signal. And you can send that signal starting today with a tin of sardines that costs less than a cup of coffee. Let's recap everything we covered. Sardines are the most nutrient-dense, lowest mercury source of omega-3 fatty acids available. 3 tins per day delivers approximately 200 milliliters of EPA and DHA, a therapeutic dose. Omega-3s from sardines trigger selective cytotoxicity, destroying cancer cells while strengthening healthy ones. They also produce resolvins that shut down the chronic inflammation that fuels tumor growth. And they inhibit angiogenesis, cutting off the blood supply tumors need to expand. Sardines provide the exact nutrient combination, omega-3s, vitamin D, selenium, and taurine, needed to activate dormant stem cells and create the optimal environment for tissue repair and regeneration. Omega-3s from sardines reduce visceral fat even without other dietary changes by activating fat oxidation pathways, reducing inflammatory signaling, and supporting brown fat thermogenesis. The protocol: 3 tins of sardines and extra virgin olive oil daily for 5 days. Supplement with electrolytes, a B-complex vitamin, and fresh lemon for mineral absorption. Always choose sardines in extra virgin olive oil with skin and bones. Eat the bones for calcium. Consider combining with time-restricted eating for amplified stem cell activation. Track your waist circumference, not your scale weight. Maintain sardines 3 to 4 times per week after the initial protocol. Your health is not predetermined by your genes or your age. It's influenced enormously by what you choose to eat and how you live. You have more control than you've been led to believe. If you found this information valuable, share this video with someone who needs it. 1 in 2 men and 1 in 3 women will be diagnosed with cancer in their lifetime. This information could genuinely change someone's trajectory. Check out the other videos on the foods that activate your body's 5 defense systems. If this protocol changed how you view the simple sardine, please subscribe and like the channel. We are uncovering the medical evidence that has been buried for far too long. Nourish your body, protect your future. The next breakthrough in health science will be shared here very soon.